Hello guys, Vice here. Still in a splint, sorry. But today we have an awesome topic to talk about. I cannot wait to get y'all's opinion. But I have been asked this a lot. Vice, what are your top 5 favorite games? Well, guess what? You're about to find out my top 10 favorite games. Now, before I get into it, please understand, a lot of these games are games that I reminisce about from my childhood. So, all you youngins out there, you might not understand this list or the nostalgia factor that I have, but I guarantee these games are awesome all the same. Now, like I said, first game, actually number 10 spot on my list, House of the Dead. Yes, House of the Dead, that motherfucking awesome FPS, arcade style shooter. It came out, I had it on the Dreamcast, and I remember I played it so fucking much. So much that my parents actually got me, the gun. The game that the gun that, you could buy separately. And I remember it had, like cheat settings on it. Like there was just a button. Press the button once, and it turns the normal pistol rounds into shotgun shells. And, you keep tapping. Or you press the button again, fully automatic shotgun. That's fucking overkill if you ask me. But there's nothing more awesome than playing House of the Dead, in your room with the lights off. Cheating or not cheating, I did both. I beat the game normally, don't worry. But there's nothing better than beating that final fucking boss right there on that rooftop. Fucking amazing. Awesome game. If you like zombies and, you like that, I understand they came out with a game called, Typing of the Dead or House of the Typing, some shit. Basically same game, but you gotta type in order to kill the zombies. Don't get that shit. That's for the PC, but don't get that one. Get House of the Dead. House of the Dead, that's that fucking shit right there. Now, as most of you know, and like I said before, I am mostly a nostalgia gamer, so that's why this game kind of crept up on number 9 of my list. Hotline Miami, that's right, Hotline Miami, that motherfucking hard game, that retro-looking motherfucker, now has a place in my top 10 and in my heart. I know, that's pretty loving for a game that's so violent, but the fact that the graphics are so retro and it's so hard. If you get hit once, you die, but you're like, nah, man, fuck that shit. I'm not a pussy. But you understand what I'm saying? Is that it's so hard that you want to keep going. You want to know what part of the story is, even more fucked up than before. You want to understand, why the fuck am I in a room with 3 other people wearing these masks? Who knows? But it is an amazing game. I do recommend it. It's on Steam. I'm not sure if it's out for consoles, but I do recommend that game. Awesome, especially if you love hard fucking games like that. Awesome. Now, number 8 on my list. This one is kind of like a treasure. If those of you who remember the company Rare, that's an old company. And I had this game for the SNES, Killer Instinct. That's right. It was like Mortal Kombat's fucking, I don't want to say retarded cousin, but more like a less known cousin. It's basically a fighting game such as Mortal Kombat, but different kinds of characters. It was combo breaker. It was a lot different, kind of. I remember Glacius or Glacian. He was like my number 1 go-to guy. He was the motherfucker that was made of ice. I remember whenever I played Mortal Kombat, I was always Sub-Zero. I don't know what it was. Anytime I play a fighting game, if there's an ice character, that's my motherfucking go-to, because I like being that cheap motherfucker that freezes you and fucking uppercut. But Killer Instinct, I remember I would play this with my friends, and my parents would walk in like, what the hell, what did I get you? A video game. Oh, okay. No, that my parents were gamers as well, and the only way, I'd get all these mature games that if I understood the difference of reality versus a video game. So I'm not just going to go out there thinking I'm some ice guy and start fucking up people on the street. No, I was a kid, but trust me, it's an amazing game. If you have an SNES, I recommend Killer Instinct. It was that little title that could. Now, we're going to be moving on to number 7 on our list. We're going to be moving up to the N64 with 007 GoldenEye. That's right, 007. My family, we played this together, And I remember they hated fucking playing with me because I'd always beat them. I'd always beat them. They're like, dude, go easy on me. I'm like, I don't know how much more easier I can get. But 007, for all you N64 fans out there, it was practically... I have never heard of somebody who owned an N64 and didn't have this fucking game. The storyline is amazing. It's just all around awesome. And if you play with friends, you know what I'm talking about. Fucking screen lookers. It's probably one of the best 007 and more memorable 007 titles out there. 007 GoldenEye, I do recommend it. I just recently heard that 007 GoldenEye came out with a source version for free on PC, so whenever my arm's all healed up, I am definitely checking that shit out. See if I still kind of got it in me. Alright, so we're now up to number 6. Number 6. This is also a game that you can get on Steam, but this was a PC game. I still have the original discs. It was called Evil Genius. Now, whenever I first started making videos on YouTube, you guys know that I did a couple videos on Evil Genius. I still wish I had kept on going, but it was an amazing game. Amazing. Evil Genius in a nutshell, you pick between one of 3 evil geniuses at the very beginning. You basically keep saving up your money, and you are building an evil lair, evil base inside of a mountain. And at the same time, think of it like an RTS defensive tower kind of thing. You know, you send minions out in the world to collect money, do jobs. You even get some henchmen that have some special abilities. You can train your minions to be like scientists or fucking fighters, and it's awesome game. I'm definitely going to get back into that game. Even make videos on it if you guys would like. I would love to play this game again. Alright, and plus, it really has a special place in my heart, Evil Genius, because my mother taught me how to play the game. She did. Me and her, we played games all the time. I'd stand over her shoulder. She'd be like, oh, you want to learn how to play? I'm like, yeah, this game looks amazing, and you make it look so easy. And she's the one who taught me how to play games. I'll get into that. Both my parents were gamers, but I have certain skill sets from both of them, but I'll get into that later. So, we're down now to the top 5. Top 5 games on my favorite games. Number 5, Diablo 2. This was another game that the entire family played together. I remember I was kind of a loot whore that kind of pissed off my family, but I learned since then, stopped picking up every fucking thing. But I remember my very first character on Diablo 2 was a barbarian, EO. Just E and O. And that account got hacked, so I was like, fuck. Then I played as a necromancer, and I learned all the tricks as a necromancer from my mother. And my family, we loved to play together. We'd always play games with each other. It's awesome. It's an awesome feeling to play with your family and have fun. So, guys out there, if you play with your family, God bless you. If you want to play with your family, ask them. Maybe start off with a kind of a game that's not so violent. Maybe that's their style. Who knows? But Diablo 2, amazing storyline, amazing gameplay. I still remember the first time I saw and heard Mephisto in that cutscene. That voice was just like pins and needles like throughout my skin, and I was fucking scared. I was like, but that is also my favorite cutscene throughout the game because of that memory. It's not like it crippled my childhood. So, is there anything else I can talk about Diablo 2? Fucking amazing game. Go get it. Plus the Lord of Destruction with Bale. Go get that expansion pack as well. I still see the fucking thing in Walmart, the bundle. So go get that shit. It's better than Diablo 3 in my opinion. And I can say that because I played all 3 games. Moving on to number 4 in my top list. Star Wars Rogue Squadron for the N64. Now, for those of you who didn't know what Rogue Squadron was, it was one of those Star Wars titles where you're just flying around and shooting shit and all that. But it was amazing. I could not stress how amazing amazing it was. Now, of course, to prevent my list being flooded with Star Wars titles, that was like the number one Star Wars title that I picked, but I will give honorable mentions to Star Wars Battlefront 1 and 2. Both of those kind of go hand in hand. And Republic Commando. Republic Commando kind of made me feel like I was that clone trooper who, Special Forces clone troopers. I'll be honest, I felt like my fucking dad, kind of. It was awesome. But Rogue Squadron, that was just fucking gold. I'd sit down for hours, play the same shit, try and find all the secrets. If it's one thing I loved, it's a game that I cannot put down. Hotline Miami, yeah, I did kind of put it down, but I fucking love it. Let's see. Anything else? Battlefront. For those of you who played Star Wars Battlefront, you guys know that game is best when played with a friend, especially if you two are going head and head. That is awesome. You're always challenging them. You hope that you get into lightsaber wars, and it was awesome. And of course, Republic Commando, you and 3 other guys. Please, although you do know that Republic Commando is on Steam, I did play it as a child back when it was on Xbox. Sorry, my nose is very itchy. Fucking allergies are kicking my ass today. Whew, that was weird. But you and 3 other like Special Forces clone troopers, they all have their own distinct personalities and skill sets. It's fucking awesome. And along with Star Wars, they had a lot of good titles. I could go through them all, like X-Wing. I didn't really play too much of it. God. But we'll move on from number 4 in Star Wars, and we'll get into the top 3. Top 3. At number 3, just number 3, fuck it. Jet Grind Radio. Jet Grind Radio, that was later to be renamed Jet Set Radio. Jet Grind Radio, I played for the Dreamcast, and I remember the very first time I picked it up, I was like, it kind of would have made me learn how to rollerblade, and I tried to learn, but I just couldn't get into it. I was more of a skateboarder. I had an accident, fucked up my knee, can't skateboard anymore. But Jet Grind Radio, it was awesome because there's never been like a game that basically involves graffiti. That was kind of a controversial title, but then I look at pictures and I see all these pictures of real life graffiti. I'm like, wow, that is amazing, but I'm guessing they're not the same as, in the game. In the game, it's really awesome storyline. I love all the characters that you meet. Of course, I'm very glad they had it out on Steam, and I got to do a series on it. You guys saw how ecstatic I was. I even dressed up. I fucking love Jet Set Radio, Jet Grind Radio. Sorry, I keep itching my nose and all that. I'm about to do it again. So, is there anything else I could say? Obviously, the characters are very unique and they have their own style and all that, but oh my god. But let's get on to number 2. You guys already know what it is. Payday the Heist. Payday the Heist, that's right. That is number 2. Some of you are very surprised that is number 2, but I've said it so many times. Payday the Heist, as much as I love Payday the Heist, it will never, I don't think anything will ever take over my number 1 favorite game. I'm pretty sure Payday 2, it's going to be number 2 as well. It's not going to bump down Payday the Heist. I'm just going to say, the Payday series. Payday the Heist, I love it so much because it's strictly co-op. It's a game that you need to work as a team. You need to, understand what you're doing in order to achieve your goal. Overkill, obviously the developers, they did a good job making this game. Now, Payday 2 will be coming out. I am very, very positive that it'll be bigger and better and just more badass and heisting and all that shit. But they need to remember, just like Bo and Ulf, when they developed Ballistics, you always need to go back and thank that game. Ballistics was their very first game that developed the diesel engine. Now, you've seen how the diesel engine has now come into Payday the Heist and how flexible it has become. It's not as flexible as, the Source engine with mods and all that, but You know what? It is Payday the Heist was that little title that could. Like, did I ever tell you about the little engine that could? Oh, fucking screensaver. I've been talking so long without touching my mouse, the screensaver went on. Alright, so Overkill, they did a great job at developing this amazing co-op game. Um, and they're right, making a heist game has got to be hard because they're like one of the first people that have done it, and they made an amazing thing. Actually, I have a feeling that when Payday 2 comes out, shit's gonna get real, and people are gonna start following their suit and make actual quality games. But I'd hope they don't take Overkill's style. I do know when Storm comes out, that's like that title that they haven't talked anything about. I do know it'll be a 4-player co-op as well. As far as multiplayer, I have no clue. But ever since Payday 1 came out, I do know that Storm will be a 4-player co-op. Because it was a little thing me and Overkill talked about on Twitter. But talk about Payday the Heist some more. I'm very humble and I'm very appreciative to how my audience has also grown a liking to me and to Payday in general. You guys know that I love my team. I love Team Heist. I will back up Team Heist every step of the way. When we were formed and we were founded, remember, we were the very first clan in Payday the Heist. Me and the 3 other guys, Lucius, Sinai, Prowler, we have nothing but the best intentions for the game and for the community. We always did our best to make a good name and hope other people will follow suit. And Payday, whoa, I meant I salute you, not I salute you. Whoops, ignore that. And Overkill, once again talking about Overkill, they're also, in my opinion, the best development team ever. They actually interact and play with the fans and get our suggestions. Ever since day one on Payday, we've been suggesting all this shit for them, and they actually used our suggestions, like the economy and the ability to upgrade and buy weapons and use the money that we steal. And they did that tenfold. We can even buy shit that affects the in-game missions. We never suggested that, but they fucking took that and they took our idea, they fucked it, and they made a baby that turned out to be like the golden Buddha. I don't know. That's the best comparison I can make. I think I've talked enough about Payday. You guys know I could talk hours on end about Payday the Heist and still go on. So, before I get into the last game, I need to take a fucking drink. My mouth's dry. Alright, guys, can I get a fucking drum roll for the number one game on my favorite games? Skies of Arcadia. Skies of Arcadia originally came out on Dreamcast and was later revamped for the Nintendo GameCube. The only reason I got a Nintendo GameCube was to play Skies of Arcadia. Whenever I read about it in a magazine like Skies of Arcadia, N64, I was in the middle of a fucking store and I screamed like a little fangirl. I literally bought that magazine, took it home, and I did nothing but keep reading over and looking at the pictures of Skies of Arcadia. And I was like, Mom, I need to get an N64. I need to get Skies of Arcadia. And she understands how much I love that game. I can even tell you how I came across Skies of Arcadia. That's how much I loved it. I remember it was a Friday. And for those of you who were kids back then, you guys know about renting games. It wasn't like GameFly nowadays. You actually had to go into a video store, look at what game you want, and it's really a toss-up. Whenever you rent a game, it's a fucking toss-up. And what had happened was, last week I came in and I wanted to rent, this game for next week. And whenever I came in that week, it wasn't there. And so I was like, oh, man, I really wanted to play this game. I don't remember what game it was. But then I just looked over and my mom's like, pick out a game, we gotta go. I sighed. I just remember seeing that blue case and I was just like, I'll pick that one. I didn't even look at the fucking back of the case or anything. I just took the game, walked to the front desk, got home. Fucking the very first time I put that game in, when I flicked on that power button and I saw the opening screen, I was... What can I say? It's like... I guess you could say it's like seeing your baby for the first time. It's not as, like that, but it's like that awe moment. It's like, wow, I just picked out a game just randomly. I thought it was going to be complete shit. I had no expectations, and from that moment on, all I wanted to do was play Skies of Arcadia. Actually, a lot of you might not know this. My name, Vice, I get it from the main character, Vice from Skies of Arcadia. God, I'm so sorry I'm itching my nose. I know I do this whenever I record these videos, but... God... And believe it or not, I try to base a lot of my morals from that character. I always try to help people. I always have a positive outlook on life, no matter how bleak things get. I always try to make a crew. I always want to be the captain of my own ship, and I want to make a name for myself like my father did. That's exactly some of the morals of the character. And believe it or not, once I played that game, I had a childhood dream. I wanted to make a name for myself like my father. And my father, he was a well-known gamer back in his time. Him and my mother had articles written about him, and little did I know that one day I'd made a name for myself. I think it was like last year I actually achieved that dream. I made a name for myself, and you guys now know me as Vice from Payday the Heist and Team Heist. But the game, I could never get bored of that game. I remember a couple months ago, I decided to replay it on my Dreamcast. Not Dreamcast, on my Nintendo GameCube. And, speaking of which, do I have the fucking game down here? No, I'll have to look for it. But, and I decided to do a speed run, and in 24 hours flat, I got to the Hydra. Basically, it's Glacian's flagship that he kind of did on... It's long fucking story. I got pretty fucking far in the game, and it's been years since I played it. And it's like, wow, I still remember everything about this game. But I remember back when I had to take the game back to the video store, I was crying. I had never cried like that before over a video game. I was like, Mom, please don't let me take this back. She's like, no, we gotta. And I remember for months on end, I was bugging my parents, what do you want for your birthday? Skies of Arcadia. Okay, is there anything else you want? No. What do you want for Christmas? Skies of Arcadia. Okay. Came Christmas time, I didn't get it. And then a couple days later, my parents like, come out here, you're in trouble. I'm like, what did I do? Nothing, here's your game. And I was just jumping with joy. It's just... Skies of Arcadia, what can I say about it? Amazing gameplay, awesome graphics for its time, and one of the best storylines ever in a video game, I believe. Skies of Arcadia takes the cake. If you guys have a Nintendo Dreamcast, or a Sega Dreamcast, or a Nintendo GameCube, I strongly recommend you fucking play this game. I cannot stress enough how good this game is. And the characters, it's awesome. This game is awesome, along with every single game on this list. So guys, I want to hear y'all's top 10 favorite games. I want to hear y'all's top 10. Please, and tell me what you think. If you guys have played these games, let me know what you think in the comments section. I'd love to keep talking to you guys. I can go on for days about these games. A lot of them mean a lot to me, like when I was a kid to nowadays, where they just kind of fucking kick down the door saying, "Take me," like Payday did. That one kicked, that one kicked down my door. It's like, shit, Hotline Miami. That kind of snuck up on my list, but fuck. So guys, like and subscribe because the almighty pickle that commands you to. And until next time, I'm Vice. You guys take it easy.